Karibu member.
Thank you for joining us. It's another wonderful Saturday, of course, albeit very cold, but we trudge along. And of course, this is KBC, the channel that gives you the best news coverage in East Africa. My name is Kasavuli. My colleague Topi Liambila will be joining us later on in the bulletin with the sports lineup. First, let's look at the highlights. The road to elections. NCIC commits political leaders towards peaceful elections.
Sincere gratitude to Dr. Tedros, the Director General of the World Health Organization, for the decision to establish a WHO regional emergency hub in Africa, and more so here in Nairobi, as one of the 3 regional WHO emergency hubs on the African continent.
Quest for universal health care. President Uhuru Kenyatta launches 2 health facilities in Kiambu County. And Wimbledon, here we come. 19-year-old tennis sensation becomes the first Kenyan to win a Wimbledon title. Thank you so very much for joining us. This is the Legends Edition. My name is Kasavuli. I told you a little earlier on. Of course, our sign language interpreter is Byron Aburi. He had taken a slight break over the weekends, but it's nice to see you, Byron. Topi Liambila will be bringing us more sports, but our first news item is nothing but sports. Kenya is shining all over the world. Kenya's Angela Okutoyi entered into history books as the first Kenyan player to win Wimbledon tennis trophy after teaming up with Marie-Rose Nijkamp to win the girls' doubles final played on Saturday in London, the United Kingdom.
Angela Okutoyi and Holland's Rose Marie Nijkamp overcame the duo of Victoria Mboko and Kayla Cross in 2 sets to 1 in a tough final. Angela Nijkamp lost the first set 3-6 but bounced back to win the second set 6-3 against the Canadians. The two tied at 2-2, forcing Angela and her partner to dig deep and win the third set through a tie-breaker. Okutoyi and her Dutch partner qualified for the finals after seeing off Nikola Jubanov of Serbia and Shirika Bagaric of Croatia 6-3, 6-4 on Friday. The win makes Angela the first Kenyan to win a Grand Slam at any age level. The win extends a mercurial run by the 19-year-old this year, where she has reached the 3rd round of the Australian Open and played at her 2nd Grand Slam at the French Open. Okutoyi is also the reigning Africa Junior Champion.
And it's congratulations to Angela Okutoyi for that wonderful feat. President Uhuru Kenyatta has reiterated the need for the country to invest in upgrading and training its workforce to attain universal health coverage. The head of state said Africa still suffers from a shortage of highly trained personnel, a matter that needs to be addressed through investment and institutions that offer specialized training. President Kenyatta said the achievement of universal health coverage in Kenya suffered a setback with the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. He said this should, however, be bridged.
President Uhuru Kenyatta on Saturday presided over the groundbreaking ceremony for the Amref International University Ruiru campus. The institution is set to scale up training to health workers, not only in Kenya but for the African continent.
Our focus has been to train health workforce for primary health care. We train nurses, midwives, community health workers. We started off by upgrading nurses from what we used to call enrolled community nurse to registered community nurse, meaning that they moved up in the scale of service delivery.
President Kenyatta saying that there was an increasing need to have a well-trained, equipped and well-paid workforce, which is the backbone of health services.
Human resource is the core building block of a health system. We can have the latest technology, modern medicines, but all these are futile if the human element is of substandard quality.
The head of state noting that the existing shortage of healthcare workers in Africa had negatively impacted provision of healthcare, hence the need to bridge the gap through proper investment.
It is unfortunate that the COVID-19 pandemic has delayed our UHC progress and indeed has left a strain on our health system. So therefore, we have no choice. We must increase investments in training and policy reforms within the sector, as Mutahi has just said, to make up for lost ground.
Earlier, the head of state launched the Level 6 catheterization laboratory in the Kenyatta University Teaching, Referral and Research Hospital in Kiambu County. The laboratory, commonly referred to as the Cath Lab, is equipped with the state-of-the-art imaging facilities for the diagnosis and treatment of cardiovascular diseases.
The system that we have set forth with your direction is going to be one of the best anywhere on earth. As I said, we have already got people coming to Kenya for treatment, initially from Africa. Moving forward, we will see people from Europe coming for treatment here, the way they go to India.
The head of state also presided over the groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of a World Health Organization regional and sub-global emergency operations and logistics hub.
Each year, as has already been pointed out, we have over 100 health emergencies occurring in the east, central and southern parts of Africa. And these emergencies, along with the current COVID-19 pandemic, pose a serious health and social, as well as economic and security risks.
From the hub, we will be able to coordinate emergency response for the Eastern Africa region and organize the delivery of life-saving medical supplies to where they are needed the most in the whole continent.
President Uhuru Kenyatta has reiterated the need for an enabled workforce in the achievement of the universal health coverage, which has negatively been impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. Nancy Okware, reporting for Legends Edition from Ruiru area, Kiambu County.
Thank you, Nancy. Muslim faithful in the country joined the world in marking Adha celebrations, also known as the Feast of Sacrifice, amid calls for peace and political tolerance as the country heads to the August elections. The ceremony also signifies the end of the annual Hajj, or pilgrimage to the city of Mecca.
Muslims across the country on Saturday morning thronged various open grounds for prayers to mark Adha, an important feast day in the Muslim calendar.
Katika lengo moja ya nyama kama hii ama kuchinja ni kutia furaha katika nyumba za maskini, nyumba za wale wasiojiweza, wajane, mafukara, mayatima, ili sote tupate kusherehekea vizuri.
In Mombasa, the Muslim faithful marked the Eid prayers at Tononoka grounds.
Tunatakia Eid Karim na tunawakaribisha katika fursa kama hii, ni waje wanunue mbuzi wapate thawabu za kuchinja.
In Garissa, a section of political leaders has called on residents to maintain peace and keep a wide berth from candidates out to incite them into violence during this electioneering period.
Sote tuangalia hali ya amani, tuchunge amani ili we have peaceful elections. Hakuna haja ya sisi wanasiasa kufanya uchochezi na uhasama baina ya our supporters.
Na sasa tuko kwa msimu ya siasa. I urge Kenyans, people of Garissa, to vote for leadership that will help the common mwananchi.
Same script, same message resonated in Wajir County, with leaders calling on electorates to be peace envoys as we head to August pause.
On August 10th, the elections will be over. You have to remember, you have to live with your neighbor, and you have to live with your friends, and you have to live with your families. Don't listen to any incitement or any rhetoric of violence.
In Isiolo, thousands of Muslims faithful thronged various open grounds for prayers to mark Idul Adha.
Tuko wakati ya campaign. Tuombe Mwenyezi Mungu alilete usalama, atupatie amani katika nchi yetu, atupatie amani katika kaunti yetu. Tukipiga kura, piga kwa haki.
Residents across Mandera County have urged leaders to keep peaceful campaigns and maintain peace during this general election as they marked Idul Adha in Jamia Mosque grounds.
Tunaomba Mwenyezi Mungu atuletee viongozi ambaye hawataleta ukabila katika jamii, kiongozi ambaye atakuwa atashikanisha sisi kama Waislamu, kama Wakenya.
In Kajiado, Muslims and Christians converged in a unique ceremony to mark Idul Adha.
Nafurahia sana vile tumekuja hapa shule ya watoto ambaye ni Manar. Tumepata nyama, tunafurahia manake kulingana na uchumi nyama si rahisi kupatikana. Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar. We wish them all the best. The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission now warns that it might be forced to postpone elections in 31 areas affected by nomination disputes pending in the High Court. Chebukati is now calling on the judiciary to expedite the resolution of the disputes as continued delays were jeopardizing the ballot printing process. Chebukati spoke during the National Conference on Peaceful Elections spearheaded by the National Cohesion and Integration Commission, where political parties and the 4 presidential candidates signed a leadership and peace charter committing to peaceful campaigns.
Approximately 30 days to the general election, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission is sounding a warning bell over delayed determination of election disputes emanating from the nomination process. With the electoral body having made a determination on approximately 300 cases last week, IEBC says 31 disputes filed at the High Court by those disgranted by the IEBC Disputes Resolution Tribunal risk derailing the election in the affected areas.
As a commission, we cannot wait forever. We shall be forced to suspend elections in those areas where decisions are made that interfere, or not interfere really, but affect the printing of ballot papers.
Chebukati now wants the judiciary to expedite the determination of the disputes to allow the IEBC adequately prepare for the election.
We must deliver an election on 9th of August. And that, then, we hope the judiciary will fast-track whatever decisions they have to make so as not to interfere with the printing of ballot papers.
This, even as political parties and the 4 presidential candidates signed a leadership and peace charter committing to maintaining peace during and after the elections.
Leadership and integrity, in addition to aspiring a peaceful and fair 2022 general election process.
NCIC Chairperson Samuel Kobia, who led his peers who are stakeholders in the election cycle, called on politicians to ensure that the country is stable even after the results have been declared.
Today, we achieve a commitment from all key political actors to not only stop violence, but to also act gently and decently in their politics and act with respect and decorum.
I will make sure that I become a leader, and a leader, whether we succeed or fail in our elections, whether I win or lose, it's not a problem.
I stand here as a candidate of peace, of hope for Kenya. There is still hope for Kenya.
I want to assure Mr. Chebukati and the Commission that my candidate and our campaign is going to be your faithful partner in this process. We trust you.
We, as the Roots Party of Kenya, believe in one thing, that we have a young generation, we have people who are coming to leadership, and we have to give them a ground that be able to express themselves.
That he will continue to ensure that the footprints of his campaign will remain even more peaceful in the remaining 30 days, and he will continually and continuously continue to persuasively dialogue with more and more Kenyans in his signature bottom-up economic engagements with all peoples in the 47 counties.
We are calling for responsibility and responsible statements by leaders, because it is the leaders who are vying that would call on their electorate to do something that is not right.
In the remaining 30 days, the IEBC will be the custodian of a peace torch that will be symbolic to the flames of peace across the country. John Jacob Curia, Legends Edition.
Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition Party has pledged to establish an industrial hub in Mumias, Kakamega County as one of its strategies to create job opportunities to the locals. At the same time, the coalition's presidential candidate Raila Odinga says plans are in top gear to have the moribund Mumias sugar factory back on track in not longer than 3 months if elected president. Wycliffe Okech with the details of Odinga's exploits in Kakamega County.
The sustained campaigns by the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya in the vast Kakamega County began in Mumias East to Navaholo constituencies before a rally in Buhungu Stadium, where he officially launched Azimio Women League Kakamega branch. The Azimio leader told the locals that the moribund Mumias sugar factory is almost back on track, in addition to the coalition's plans to establish an industrial hub in the region.
Wale ambao waliharibu hapo wametoroka. Hiyo deni ambayo iko weka kando kwanza. Wewe kwenda fungua stima. Nimwambia fungua stima mara moja. Stima imewekwa. Sasa jamaa anafanya testing. Niwaambia nataka within the next 3 months Mumias iwe inafanya kazi full steam.
Raila rallied the locals behind his presidential bid, pledging improved infrastructure, healthcare and free education.
And the country has spoken. Na nchi nzima imeamka. Hatuna hila na yeyote yule, lakini tuko na hila na udanganyifu. Wanazindua manifesto yao vile watafanyia Wakenya kazi, neno ufisadi halitajwi.
The ODM boss said he will not dictate to the electorate who to elect among the candidates under the Azimio umbrella, but warned the electorate against electing candidates affiliated to the Kenya Kwanza faction.
Mimi nasema ya kwamba iko wakati nchi inastahili viongozi wamekomaa, viongozi ambao wako na mipango na nia njema kwa Wakenya wote.
The coalition blasted their opponents in the Kenya Kwanza coalition for what they term as reluctance by the coalition to address the paradox of draft.
Mimi sisami kiti. Mupige kura mundu gumu. Mupige kura kwa Raila Amolo Odinga.
Deputy President William Ruto says he will prioritize security, especially in the northern part of the country, if elected president in the August 9th polls. The DP who had Kenya Kwanza campaigns in Turkana County said development cannot be achieved in the absence of security.
Deputy President William Ruto on Saturday led the Kenya Kwanza Brigade in Turkana County, wooing residents of Lokore.
Harambe! Harambe!
In Turkana East, Lokichar in Turkana South constituency, and Takwel in Laima constituency to his Kenya Kwanza camp. The DP, who made a case for his presidential bid, also pledged to end insecurity in Turkana County, faced with the same challenge.
Na mimi nataka niwahakikishie ya kwamba belt hii kutoka kule West Pokot kupitia hapa kwenu Baringo mpaka Samburu, tutahakikisha kwamba kuna usalama ili tuweze kutumia ile potential liko hapa.
At the same time, the DP pledged to lower the cost of living and assured the nation that the 9th of August will be peaceful.
This is a democratic country, and the people of Kenya will make their democratic choices openly, freely, without blackmail, without intimidation.
Siasa ya vitisho na siasa ya utapeli, siasa ya madharau, siasa ya kukoseana heshima lazima itakwisha. Hapa Turkana tunataka kuwarai, ikifika tarehe 9 kila mmoja wetu ajitokeze kupiga kura na mulinde hiyo kura ili mtu asiibe kura ya Chief Hustler. Ukipiga kura ya tarehe 9 unapiga kura ya kupunguza bei ya unga.
Mwenye yako na agenda ni Kenya Kwanza Alliance inaongozwa na William Ruto.
As the DP pitched camp in Turkana, a section of his lieutenants took the Kenya Kwanza agenda in Kakamega, Embu and Kirinyaga counties, urging the electorates to vote in leaders allied to the Kenya Kwanza faction.
Kiambu gubernatorial supremacy battle between UDA's candidate Paul Kimani Wamatangi and Chama Chakazi candidate Moses Kuria manifested Saturday as the Kenya Kwanza Brigade toured the county. The UDA brigade, led by Kikuyu constituency member of parliament Kimani Ichung'wah, drummed up support for their party candidate as allies of the Gatundu South legislature, who is eyeing the gubernatorial, also backed up their candidate.
The hunt for votes for the Kiambu gubernatorial seat by the Kenya Kwanza Alliance continues to tighten, with supremacy battles escalating, pitting UDA's candidate Paul Kimani Wamatangi and Chama Chakazi candidate Moses Kuria. During a rally at Kiamba and Kiambu constituencies in Kiambu County on Saturday, the crowd could be clearly seen competing in cheering for their preferred candidate.
Patia hiyo microphone Moses Kuria tusikie naye neno yake.
This time, the candidates opted to take turns in addressing electorate.
Sababu kubwa tumekuja hapa leo ni kwa sababu ya kura ya William Samoei Ruto. Na hii manifesto yangu nataka
Wamatangi choosing to popularize his manifesto amid a charged crowd that succeeded in interrupting his message.
Ni makosa sana. Wale watu ambao pengine walikuwa wanastahili kuja kuonyesha upendo na amani ndio watu wa kwanza kuja kuharibu mkutano, na tumesikitika.
Mlikuwa mpita dakika kidogo sana, muongee kwa amani na mwingine aongee, na sasa sisi ndio tulikuwa tujiamulie mkubwa mwenye tunataka.
Tufanye kura na campaign kwa heshima. Tunafanya campaign, Moses Kuria ako na chama yake ya CCK, si ndio? Na anafanya campaign yake ya governor na William Ruto, si ndio? Na sisi kama timu ya UDA tunafanya yetu ya William Ruto na candidate wetu wa UDA.
Elsewhere, Jubilee Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni says the Jubilee Party and the Azimio One Kenya coalition has made tremendous achievement in peeling off and dismantling their arch rivals UDA and Kenya Kwanza Alliance popularity in the vote-rich Mount Kenya region.
We will have an opportunity to talk to our people, and we would ask them to listen to us and listen with us. And I can confirm to you here that UDA, which had really taken over our region, Mount Kenya region, are now struggling to avoid extinction.
Meanwhile, a section of Western region political leaders allied to the Kenya Kwanza Alliance are pleading with the people in the region to support the alliance, saying the people stand to gain more from the alliance.
The people of Western region have got a tangible stake in government. We've been given 30% share in government, not only in appointive positions, but also in development.
Kamche Menza for the Legends edition.
Young innovators have been challenged to come up with solutions to societal problems. This emerged during the 6th Annual Science Fair, where young innovators from the ages of 6 to 10 years come together to showcase their projects that are in line with the science, technology, engineering and mathematics or STEM curriculum. Some of the notable innovations showcased was an invention on an obstacle sensing car that detects an obstacle 10 meters away, homemade vacuum cleaners and oil spill cleanup, among others.
Dream Chasers.
The Dream Chasers. Dream Chasers.
The 6th Annual Science Fair was held at Nairobi's Lavington Montessori Kindergarten. Here, science and technology was at play as young innovators showcased their talents and brains. 10-year-old Ethan Kirathe of Nova Pioneer Tatu Primary School came up with obstacle sensing car that will help in minimizing road accidents by detecting objects within a 10-meter range.
To avoid accidents, to alert people if a person is in front of the car and someone is concentrating to something else. Yes, so when it starts beeping, it alerts someone to know there's something in front. Yeah.
Other innovations include homemade vacuum cleaner and oil spill cleanup, among others. The founder of Little Einstein Science Explorers, Mugure Njendu, say the program has enabled young innovators to come up with solutions to societal problems.
We really try during these sessions to get the best out of them towards responding to a solution.
CBC is the government's stamp on innovation and giving opportunities for students to discover their skills. So for me, I feel like the competency-based curriculum is the way the government is supporting schools. Just enacting education reform is a big deal. It's very hard to do. Many countries have not done that for years, but I think Kenya has taken a bold step with CBC.
Chief Guest John Githongo of Inuka Nisisi Limited said parents and teachers should initiate support for the young innovators.
The government has a responsibility to lead, but it's up to the parents to encourage and to inspire their kids, because the instruments for them to explore this creativity is all around.
Congratulations.
The science fair was attended by 130 students from over 15 schools competing in different categories.
competency-based curriculum CBC that emphasizes the complex outcomes of a learning process rather than mainly focusing on what learners are expected to learn about in terms of traditionally defined subject content has enabled the molding of young innovators and execution of their creative ideas in science, art, engineering, technology and math. Reporting for Legends Edition, I'm Pauline Nasimir.
Well, thank you very much and congratulations to the young upcoming artists, scientists, innovators and engineers. Of course, you know, Africa produces quite a great number of artists and innovators. So we're seeing them being birthed right now. Well, later on this bulletin, towards the end of the bulletin, we will be having an interview where Juliana Cherera is going to talk to us about the IEBC plans and what they have laid ahead of the elections. Don't go away. I am Catherine Kasavuli. This is Legends Edition. Stay with us.
Our arts and entertainment industry has evolved over the years.
It is at such times that our destinies are written. Will we rise up in courage or die in cowardice?
Who are the movers and shakers in film and theatre? Get trendy as we review locally produced films and stage drama every Wednesday at 9 p.m. on Cinemas and Theatre.
Brought to you by the Kenya Film Commission. Film Kenya, Capture Africa.
We shall legalize weed.
Professor George Luchiri Wajakoya of the Roots Party.
Semeni Babakea. Babakea.
Raila Amolo Odinga of the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Party.
Unajua mimi sina pesa ya serikali ama ya kashfa.
David Mwaure Wahiga of the Agano Party. And
hakuna kura ya hasla mtaiba.
William Samoei Ruto of the Kenya Kwanza Alliance. Presidential Debate 2022. Do not adjust your sets.
Do you have a news story to share with KBC? Get in touch swiftly on email news@kbc.co.ke or call 0723-892-654 or 0734-780-124.
Welcome back. The government will revoke illegally acquired title deeds in Nyandarua County and other parts of the country. Speaking in Olkalau town, Nyandarua County, when he presided over a ceremony to issue over 4,000 title deeds to residents of colonial villages, Lands Principal Secretary Nicholas Muraguri said the government will also repossess illegally acquired and grabbed lands. For this and more, here are our stories from the counties.
Speaking during the title deeds handover ceremony in Olkalau, Lance PS Nicholas Muraguri has said the government is keen on ensuring that it protects public land across the country.
Going to cancel all illegal acquired parcels of land throughout Nyandarua, as we are doing the rest of the country. At Nairobi tumeanza hiyo program, tunafanya kwa karibu na National Land Commission kuhakikisha kwamba tumelinda mashamba ya serikali.
During the event, the PS revealed that the government has also issued title deeds to over 6,000 residents of Marsabit Central Sub-County free of charge.
Tuboreshe maisha ya watu wetu, utumie hiyo kama hata collateral ya kuuliza mkopo na kupanua mambo ya economic yako.
And the British Army Training Unit in Kenya has managed to get 50 explosives, which had not been detonated after being fired during training.
Increasing number of ordnance that we find on this training area, which is good news because it means that we are being better at clearing up behind us and that the threat is getting smaller each year.
Elsewhere, KWS officers nabbed a hyena, which has been endangering residents' lives in Roromo, Limuru.
Ombi letu ni hizi fisi ziishe, mitego iongezwe kama 2 ama 3, juu hizi fisi ni mingi.
And fisher folk along Sori and Muhuru beaches of Migori County are said to benefit from a multi-million fish processing plant.
So the storage here will allow us to keep our fish for a longer period. As much as the market is dwindling, we can still wait for that market to come and we market our fish.
Finally, a dam site next to hospitals and a church in Kisii town has been described by environmental experts as a perpetual danger to public health.
I can assure you we are not going to let people go home scot-free without taking their responsibility very seriously.
Ruth Wamboy for Legends Edition.
Chemotherapy, which is treatment that uses drugs to stop the growth of cancer cells, may cause hair loss and thereby affect the self-esteem of a woman cancer survivor. But somewhere along Nairobi's Ngong Road, Diana Akech, a beautician, has made it her mission to restore dignity and confidence to cancer survivors by offering special hair makeover services. Jerutich Kiprono visited this special salon and filed the following report.
Dee's Beauty and Hair Salon, located in Marsabit Plaza of Ngong Road in Nairobi, is not your average hair salon. Over and above running the normal salon business, Diana Akech and her staff also do makeovers and offer wigs to cancer survivors who have lost their hair due to the effects of chemotherapy.
So whenever they walk into Dee's salon, I remind them how beautiful they are. I give them free makeovers. That's the time we sit down and talk about so many things and remind them how beautiful they are.
Teresia Mudhoni, a cancer survivor, is waiting for her makeover session. She is in the final stages of chemotherapy after being diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer. Although a worthy cancer treatment option, chemotherapy is costing Teresia the beauty of her hair. Diana, a beautician by profession, attributes her passion working with cancer survivors to a personal loss.
I started this initiative about 7 years ago when I lost a good friend of mine through cancer, and I saw how it affected her self-esteem and everything. So when I invited her to the salon and I decided to do for her free makeover, she was okay with me taking pictures and sharing on social media about what I'm doing.
The makeovers offer an incredible opportunity for these women to open up and speak about their experiences. It is during such moments that they're able to offer encouragement to each other. Judith Awino Ochanda, another breast cancer survivor from Kisumu, had a makeover done in September last year when Diana and her team visited the Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Hospital in Kisumu.
So hiyo siku alitutengeneza akatufunza ya kwamba when you have cancer usifikirie that is the end of your life. Bado utaishi, nywele itarudi tu. Sasa alitufanyia vipodozi mpaka wakati tulitoka hapo Russia. Madaktari hata walishangaa.
However, her work is not without its own unique set of challenges. The resources to do the makeovers and especially the wigs can be costly, but the biggest challenge Diana faces is when she loses a survivor she serves to the disease.
It's reached a point where I started, going for therapy because it's not easy.
The harsh economic times coupled with the COVID-19 pandemic slowed her work, forcing her to close down a boutique and a barber shop, but she continues to serve those who need it most, drawing fulfillment from the smiles and joy of those who benefit.
Whenever I have, an event, normally I hold it at the salon and I invite the ladies over, and We have the food, we cook, there's catwalking, there's music, there's, motivational speakers. It gives me a lot of joy when I just see the women together.
Diana gives credit to her family and her staff.
My mom knows whenever I'm down, even if she's in the village, she'll come down, she'll know. I know my daughter is going through something right now. She must have lost someone. My husband is extremely supportive. My kids, not to mention my staff, who are God-sent.
Since she started, Diana has done more than 500 makeovers across the country and hopes to do even more. She dreams of opening a wellness center where survivors of cancer from far-flung areas can get accommodation as they receive treatment.
I feel good. I feel like I'm a woman.
For the past 6 years, Diana Akech has worked tirelessly to restore the dignity and confidence of cancer patients and survivors through her wigs and makeovers. This plaque standing right behind me is a constant reminder that her work not only touches their faces and heads, but also their hearts. Reporting for KBC Channel 1, I'm Jerotich Kiperno.
Nairobi's toy market is known for fancy clothes, great bargains, and narrow, crowded walkways that do get a little soggy when it rains. But the market is becoming popular for something totally different and futuristic. This is a digital platform offering traders an online opportunity to sell their wares to a wider target market. Terry Njenga visited the market and now tells us how users of the toy online market are viewing it as a game changer.
For many small businesses, the toughest challenge is finding customers and closing as many sales as possible to grow their enterprises. The advent of COVID-19 in 2020 prompted Carlos Kisangi, an IT expert, to think outside the box and come up with a marketing solution for traders who were badly affected by movement restrictions during the pandemic.
And those vendors are categorized in different packages. So there's bronze, there's gold, there's platinum. Because in our platform, when you are a vendor, a customer can still follow you and leave a review. And it has been growing in regards to traffic, in regards to vendors and also customers who are using the platform.
The invention of toy online market platform has proved to be a game changer for businesses. With as low as 200 shillings per month, traders can now sell their merchandise to buyers in any part of the country and beyond, thanks to Kisangi's idea. So far, the platform has over 600 subscribed traders across the country, with 400 within Nairobi's toy market.
Before, nilikuwa tunakuja kwa shop, nafungua, nakaa tunangoja customer wakuje, na ukiona kwa hii soko yetu tunauza karibu kila mtu tunauza vitu the same. Sasa competition iko juu. Lakini wakati tulijoin hii platform ya toy market, nimejulikana all over kwa sababu nikishaweka vitu zangu kwa hiyo platform, wateja wanaona kutoka mbali. Hata juzi nimepata order kutoka South Sudan.
Customers who are spread as far as South Sudan have been able to transact businesses and get their orders. Just like any new venture, the entrepreneur has encountered some challenges.
Go to toy. We tell the vendors what toy market entail, but now the vendor doesn't want to pay the package. He or she says that I want to post my products first. If I sell, I'll remit the money. But now that becomes a little bit a challenge because also on our end we have to have bills to pay, the marketing team to pay.
In 5 years' time, Kisangi projects Toy to be the Africa's largest online thrift online shop, incorporating many businesses from across the continent.
We want to expand even to other countries. So I'm looking at it as an Alibaba of Africa, whereby now we can extend to Tanzania, Rwanda, Uganda.
In just an year of operation, traders have reaped profits through the platform.
Ukiona online nguo zako, inabidi atafute namba yako akupigie, na mtu akikuja bebe vitu anunue nguo zako, anapeana namba tena kwa mwingine. Kwa sababu anaona vitu zetu ziko poa.
Na mtandao tunaweka sana, tuko online throughout kwa kazi. Kwa sababu tunapata pesa hapo, kwa nini tusikue online? na ndi kazi inatupatia pesa.
The government has boosted investments in digital infrastructure that have increased internet access by traders. As demand for e-commerce increased, online business platforms have proved to be the savior in the near future.
Opportunity knocks and doors open. Here in Toy Market, the birth of Toy online market platform has opened new ways of doing business, and indeed the future is e-commerce. Welcome to the future. From Toy, Nairobi County, I'm Terry Njenga.
Well, all roads lead to August 9th. Of course, you and I will be voting on that day. Candidates are gearing up for winning battles. Well, the IEBC Commissioner, Juliana Cherera, is going to be talking to us about their preparedness for the elections on August 9th. Don't go away. Very soon, Topi Liambila will be here with us with sports. We take a break.
Agnes Kagure, Independent. Cleophas Kiyo, Ford K. Dennis Kode, LDP. Esther Thairu, Independent. Herman Growell, Safina. Johnson Sakaja, UDA. Kenneth Nyamwamu, UPA. Nancy Mwadime, Usawa kwa wote. Polycarp Igade, Jubilee. What would you like to ask your Nairobi gubernatorial candidate? Send your questions on video to the WhatsApp number 0796 560 560. You can also text your question to 22843. The Nairobi gubernatorial debate live from the Catholic University from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Monday, 11th July. Stay tuned.
Kupata mafuta kupanda kama skiza tune kwenye simu yako, bonyeza *811 *962 hash.
Nashukuru serikali kwa kuongeza bei ya mafuta. Sasa niko kwa highway na kuna traffic hata kidogo. Naomba serikali iendelee hivyo, tubaki tu watu ya gasla na heavy machine peke yake. Pia mimi naomba huyu serikali waseme kama gari yako ni below 3000 cc, gari yako na baki nyumbani, itengeneze nyumba ya kufuga kuku.
Kupata mafuta kupanda, bonyeza *811 *962 hash. *811 *962 hash.
Aya.
We shall legalize weed. Professor George Luchiri Wajakoya of the Roots Party.
Semeni Babakea. Babakea.
Raila Amolo Odinga of the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Party.
Unajua mimi sina pesa ya serikali ama ya kashfa.
David Mwaure Wahiga of the Agano Party. And
hakuna kura ya hasla mtaiba.
William Samoei Ruto of the Kenya Kwanza Alliance. Presidential Debate 2022. Do not adjust your sets.
Good evening, and once again, it's a big welcome to the comprehensive look at sports this Saturday evening. Of course, all of us have already received the news of that gigantic win by Angela Okutoyi in the Wimbledon finals of the doubles. But of course, more also to come on the sports scene. We have got the Simbas battling it for the top spot at the World Cup with Namibia's Washi Watchers. Rallycross in Machakos and the Taekwondo Afro Championships set to kick off next week. Now, five-time winner of the Safari Rally, Carl Tundo, took an overnight lead in the inaugural rallycross competition, which kicked off today at the newly launched racing track in Machakos. The event has attracted 4 teams and will come to an end this Sunday. That's tomorrow. Let's take a look at the highlights today.
Tundo, who is driving Kiambu, led the champions category, ahead of Eric Bengi and Balde Chaga. Halistia Havena is leading the veterans category, ahead of Ron Oakley and John Gugi.
It was all right. It was good. I've not driven for years. I think the last was an autocross years ago. It was fun. It was different. Yeah, had to speed up a little bit. A bit slow the first 2 laps, but it was good.
Jeremy Wahome boosted his chance of winning juniors title after taking the lead on the first day of the 2-day competition.
A lot happening on the track. It's nice to be alongside others on the same course, and it's a slightly contact sport, so there is allowance to touch one another through corners, but yeah, very exciting and wonderful actually.
I believe you guys saw the heat. It was really bumper to bumper. That heat was interesting. Racing against Karan Patel actually made me pull up my sleeves a bit and go outside my comfort zone.
Hamza Anwar and Ravia Theri follow in the second and third positions respectively. Maxim Wahome, who posted good results during the WRC Safari Rally Kenya, tops the ladies category ahead Johannes Beat and Natasha Tundo respectively.
After the rolling, the car went again on the track. We've done all the categories we've gone through. Even after my first roll, George has done his hit, and John Gugi has done his hit. So the car is good. Apart from there are a few things they are working on, but we believe it shall be well.
KBC News anchor Pauline Shegu lies in the 7th position after crashing her car in the morning. The 2-day event ends tomorrow in Machakos. Karan Patel, Carl Flash Tundo and Maxine Wahome take an early lead as the event comes to an end tomorrow. For Legends Edition Sports, I'm Daniel Mwendwa.
Your reports have it that Pauline Shegu is in good state. She wasn't injured at all. Well, the Kenya Simbas and Namibia will fight it out for the ticket in the 2023 Rugby World Cup on Sunday after both sides reach the Rugby Africa Cup final on Wednesday.
The Simbas faced an Algerian squad composed of France-based players in Wednesday's semi-final. The Algerian squad used their superior power in the pack to challenge the Simbas, who won 36-33 to make it to the final. Simbas coach Paul Odera treasured the result.
We've chosen to go with a settled team because remember, they are unbeaten in 4 tough games. Beat the Leopards, they beat the EP Kings, they beat Uganda, and they beat Algeria. So that's what we've gone to look for, which is consistency and a settled side. And we are very confident that this team can put Namibia under a lot of pressure for the full 80 minutes.
I can say that the mood from the boys is sort of a controlled and calm before the storm kind of thing, where everyone is smiling and uplifted, but also pretty much ready for war.
Kenya's opponents in the final, Namibia beat the Zimbabwe Seabulls 34-19. Kenya and Namibia met in 2018, fighting for a place at the 2019 Rugby World Cup, with Namibia emerging 53-28 winners at home. Whoever emerges at the Rugby Africa Cup 2022 champions tomorrow will take their place in Pool A at the Rugby World Cup as Africa won alongside France, New Zealand, Italy and Uruguay. The runners-up will head into the final qualification tournament. For Legends Edition, I am Daniel Wahome.
National Taekwondo team have intensified their training at the Parkland Sports Club today. Ahead of a busy calendar of events this year, the team is expected to participate in a series of matches as it seeks to gauge itself. And the Kenya Hockey Union Masters series kicked off today with Blue Ocean team emerging as front runners after topping Pool A as the series matches head to penultimate stage tomorrow, while Nakuru leads Group B in the tournament being held at the City Park Grounds, Nairobi.
beat Park Road 3-1 in their first encounter, then followed it up with a 1-0 win against Green Sharks. Blue Ocean sits top of the pool on 6 points, while Impala, Green Sharks and Park Road are second, third and fourth respectively. Nakuru beat Defence Veterans 4-0, then saw off Sikuno Nairobi 3-0 to amass of a total of 6 points. Wazalendo, Sik and Defence Veterans are placed second, third and fourth respectively. The league has attracted 8 teams composed of veteran players, with the eldest aged 66 years.
I'm grateful that and that idea to call back again those old guys, not only in the defense forces or the police, but in our local and national teams, which is a very good idea.
The rules have changed. There's more flexibility. I think there's more room to continue playing without fouls. There are less fouls, but the standards are higher.
The tournament seeks to give a platform to the veterans to take part in the sport.
The focus of this tournament is to bring them back. Then with time, they may enable us get, let's say, funding, sponsorships and what have you, and ensure that they also keep fit. They don't just fade away.
After the completion of the Nairobi tournament, move to Mombasa at a date that will be set later. Masters Hockey Series has kicked off today here at City Park Hockey Stadium, that has attracted women aged 35 years and male counterparts who are aged 40 years and above. This series is expected to come to an end tomorrow, with more series to follow in different towns and locations here in Kenya. Nora Mwangi, reporting for Legends Edition.
Apologies for that earlier mishap. We now retake the Taekwondo story. The national Taekwondo team is set to leave the country on Monday ahead of their participation in the forthcoming Africa Taekwondo Championship scheduled for July the 12th to the 18th in Kigali, Rwanda.
Kenya will field a total of 24 exponents in 2 categories, the Pumse and Kyorugi. 8 players will take part in the Pumse category, among them 2008 Olympian Milka Kinyi, Chris Mutua and Peter Mirungu, among others.
Being present in the tournament already earns a point, so it's very important to us, and especially if we can get that medal, it will help us in the overall ranking in the world, and that will increase our chances possibly of qualifying for the Olympics.
Championship, I target on getting to podium finish, because the last African Championship, unfortunately enough,
Evelyn Aluoch, who won bronze medal at the 2019 Africa Games in Morocco, will participate in the Kyorugi category, seeking to register impressive results.
Sasa tunafanya sahi ni just kidogo speed na mwili sasa irudi normal ile na inaweza perform vizuri pale.
We have been preparing for more than at least now a good 2 weeks, and we are expecting the best. Yeah, training has been good so far, no injuries, and we have prepared ourselves enough. We believe to do our best.
The team is, however, appealing for more funds to enter full squad at the championship.
The full budget with the Kyorugi team alone was 12 million. Then you add the Pumse team also, that brings it to about 15 million that we needed to at least take the whole team. We are looking out there for well-wishers to come through for us.
The championship is expected to attract players from the continent, jostling for Olympic qualification points. Bernard Okumu, Legends Edition.
Meanwhile, the national karate team have intensified their training at the Parkland Sports Club today ahead of a busy calendar of events this year. The team is expected to participate in this series of matches as it seeks to gauge itself.
The team has been training under the guidance of Mauritius trainer Vincent van der Winter to sharpen their skills.
First lesson, there's extreme spirit. The guys are very motivated, they're very keen, they're very energetic, and they have a huge passion for Shotokan karate. They really, really have a passion, and it's nice to see so much good karate coming through from a junior level.
The karate team is set to take part in forthcoming tournaments which will seek to promote sports tourism, nature talents, and environment conservation by planting of trees.
Actually, the main objective is to grow karate in Africa, to grow sports tourism, because next year we are going to invite trainers from all over the world to come and join us. We want them to tour some of our facilities and game reserves. We want them to see our big five.
The team consists of junior side as aiming to register impressive results in championships.
For one, there's obviously the self-defense part, that you're able to at least defend yourself. And then there's also the physical activity. It's a part of fitness. And I also like the body control that you learn from conditioning your body.
For Legends Edition, I'm Sela Onyango.
The Anti-Doping Agency of Kenya, Adha, has called on all stakeholders to join hands in the fight against doping. Adha Education and Research Director Agnes Mandu noted that the success in the war against doping cannot be achieved with Adha alone, thus calling on stakeholders to join hands in the mission. Has been placed in the category A in 2018, having been classified on the basis that its athletes are at the highest risk of committing a doping offense. This came after the introduction of new regulations placing more responsibilities on member federations of doping cases in their territories. Mandu added that journalists are pivotal partners in the war against doping. Adha Education and Research Director also clarified that confidentiality and protection of the individual's identity for those helping with information will be guaranteed. Euro 2022 favourites Spain overpowered Finland by 4-1 in their tournament opener in Milton Keynes as 8-time European champions. Germany got their campaign off to a flying start by hammering Euro 2017 runners-up Denmark 4-0 at the sold-out Brentford Community Stadium. Take a look. And of course, that's a wrap-up on the sports edition this Saturday evening on the Legends edition. It's been a great evening, and I hope that you'll be again with us for the next show coming Saturday. But remember, it's been such a great day on sports that we cannot just, sweep it under the carpet.
No way.
Yes.
We actually mentioned this issue some time back.
Yes.
I think about 2 months ago.
Yeah.
I asked you what happened to the tennis players, Noah Wekesa's children.
Oh, yeah,
they used to feature, quite a bit. And suddenly, this...
I know the blues.
Angela Okutoyi.
Yeah, she went to the Olympics.
Amazing.
Yeah, in the Junior Olympics. So she's a great player, and I think partnering to do this is the first time. I mean, given maybe forget about even before the tournament.
Yes.
Even years before.
Yes.
Nobody would ever have dreamt that a Kenyan name.
Yes, would be in the
actually
Wimbledon.
Be on a Wimbledon trophy and on the board.
Oh,
It's
baby, that is just...
It is great.
I am so
we are so great.
elated.
Yeah, so elated, and we hope for some great events. And
Yes.
Kenyans have got a lot of potential.
Oh, a lot.
So I believe that with proper management,
yes,
we are going to have many Angelas.
Yes.
I hope that everybody goes
I'm
out for
very,
it.
very sure of that. We
It's
are
great.
humble, we are hospitable,
We can help.
and of course we are also very disciplined.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yes, you have seen the little children with the vehicles and vacuum cleaners.
Yeah, exactly.
Ages between 6 and 10. Oh, that is just amazing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the next government will be formed soon after the August 9th elections. We have Juliana Cherera, who is going to walk us through the processes that we are going to be walking through during the elections? Dopey, get your voting card ready for election.
Oh, definitely my voting card. I mean, the first time I voted was in 2017. I'm really looking forward to this voting this time. Yes, of course, I'll be on duty, but okay, from me, Top Iliambila, of course, I'll wrap up and hope that you have a sporting week and enjoy Angela's victory.
Well, of course, yes, we enjoy Angela's victory. Oh my goodness, kisses, hugs, and just lots of love from everybody at KBC. And of course, we now leave you with Jacob John Curia, who is going to take us oh, well, I have just been told it's not John Jacob Curia, it is Safin Achieng, who is going to take us through the interview. Thank you, Safin.
All right, thank you so much. This is KBC Channel 1. Indeed, we are just about to have a very important conversation, just 31 days to the August polls. And we just want to look at the state of preparedness of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. A lot has been done so far from when the election calendar was declared to today. And of course, in the remaining few days still, there's a lot of ground to cover. And that is what we want to assess. And joining me for this important conversation is the Vice Chairperson of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, Ms. Juliana Cherera. Thank you for creating time for us.
Thank you, Safina. Thank you for having me to the studio today.
Must be a very busy season for you as a commission. So let me start by saying we really appreciate you creating time for us again. And I've just cited that it's 31 days to the August polls. Probably a good point to start would be, what is the status of the commission in terms of, the electoral calendar? Are you on track?
Okay, thank you, Safina. Yes, in terms of preparedness, as IEBC, as the Commission, we are on track. Remember, 20th of January this year, we gazetted the election timelines, and already we kick-started the activities and the statutory timelines that are there. We have done the enrollment, the continuous voter registration, and then we did the enhanced version of continuous voter registration. After that, we finished with that and we went to the candidate registration phase, which all of us know that we registered the candidates, finished with that, and did the dispute resolution process. We finished that, and then it rolls. This election is a process whereby one activity gives room to the next to roll out. So currently, we have the candidates already in place. We have gazetted the candidates list, though the government printers has not published it out. But as at 30th of June, we had signed out that candidate list. It was received, and by 1st of July, they had started the process to publish it. But because of some hitches here and there, it is not yet out. But according to us, that stage was already done. So we have now kicked off the printing of the ballot papers. Remember, the supplier had 30 days to do this work, and from the 1st of July, they started the printing. And yesterday, we received the first bunch of ballot papers. On the ground, what is happening, our returning officers in the counties and the constituencies have recruited staff, and training is going on. We also have a training that is currently going on, what we call the Election Security Arrangement Program, whereby our staff are taken through how to handle security matters, and we are collaborating with the National Police Service and all the agencies that are in charge of that docket.
All right,
so we are ready.
You are ready. That's good to hear, though. You've talked about the gazettement of the candidates who were cleared by the commission, and talked about the delays in the printing of this gazette. Is there like a tentative or day that, as a commission, you expect that the government printers ought to finalize this, that Kenyans should anticipate? Because it has elicited a bit of concern as well.
Basically, from our end, we expected by 1st or 2nd it will have been published. It has taken too long.
Is it concerning you, and what are you doing about it?
It is concerning us, but for us, you see, we have a deadline to meet. We have the 9th of August, which by tomorrow it will be exactly 30 days. We need to be ready to ensure that Kenya will have the election. So we are saying, as long as we gave out the list of candidates and it has been received and stamped, the fault is not on us as IEBC. There is another phase that needs to roll out. Remember, I said one phase gives room to the next. So after the gazettement, we roll out the printing. But now the fault is on the government printers, not on us. And we cannot delay. Look, today is 8th, and it has not been published. So you want to tell us that we wait for this printing to begin at what time, and other activities need to roll.
So moving on is the option for the commission?
Moving on is the only option.
I understand that there's so little time left and so much to do for you as a commission. And you said that you have begun the process of printing the ballot material. Yesterday, we saw the first batch land in the country. But how are you dealing with the issues emerging, such as those candidates that had been barred from vying? The High Court the other day, gave a ruling that, sort of like opened the window for those who had been blocked from vying based on the fact that they didn't meet the threshold of supporters list and ID's requirement. There's still a bit of question as to whether they should be included in the final list of those who are vying. Plus, we still have other candidates who have active cases in court. As you continue with your activities as a commission, are you also sensitive to any emerging issues that may arise based on these legal developments?
Yeah, thank you, Safina. That is a very good question. As a commission, we proceeded to go print, but we only authorized the printing of the ballot papers and the candidates that do not have issues. All the candidates that have issues in the High Court, we have not authorized their printing. So we are still on the waiting mode to wait and see what the High Court will say about it, then we'll print. And if we have printed and the High Court says otherwise, we will do accordingly. Yes, we are a commission that follows the law. If they say you add, we will add. If they say remove, we will remove. Yes, but you see, timelines are very important for us. And at this time, I wish to say something that kindly, judiciary and the High Court, they should expedite these cases because they have a bearing on the timelines on IEBC.
Just still related to the same matter, the commission cleared certain candidates who later on their clearance were challenged without mentioning names because some cases are still active in court. What does this tell us about the fact-checking and the backgrounding that the commission does before they settle on clearing a candidate?
Okay, without mentioning names, yes. But the cases that we have...
A candidate was cleared, but later on... challenged.
There are some that we have not appealed, but there are others we have appealed, especially if we see that it is in breach of a clause that is in the Elections Act or the Constitution. As a commission, we are saying no. The ruling was based on ABCD, so we go to the higher court and appeal. Yes.
So what I wanted to get clearly from you was the fact that some feel that this could actually put a dark spot on the commission, that you give a candidate a green light to vie in an election, but later on questions about it could be integrity issues, it could be academic certificates are raised, and validly so evidence is put on the table, and this candidate seemingly appears to be having questions. So that decision by the commission to clear this person to vie, yet there are other bodies that may have issues, to put on this candidate that may initially have blocked him from vying, him or her. Does that...
Safina, let me put it very clear. Yeah. Our returning officers, they have a checklist. So before they clear a candidate, they follow the checklist. And this checklist is informed by the law. The same law that the High Court will look into, and maybe other cases that they will compare. So there is nobody that our arrows have cleared and has been challenged, to do otherwise. All those cases are still pending in court. And the ones that have come to us, we have appealed because we are double sure that our returning officers followed a checklist, and this checklist is by law.
So let's move on. On the issue of the ballot papers that are in the country, what has been done to ensure their security and also to avert any attempts to tamper with them, just to assure us that they are safe?
Nobody can be able to tamper with what is in the custody of IEBC because they are guarded, they are under security, and they're taken to a warehouse which is manned 24/7. So, and they will be open at a particular time. They'll be inspected, yes, and stored, but officially open at a particular time.
Just to what extent would you say these legal battles have impacted your operations as a commission, and what are you doing to avert or just to reduce, because I know you cannot completely eliminate people challenging your position as a commission, but what are you doing so that in future you limit such cases, so that you, according to your timelines, you move?
Let me go back to 2017. There were many cases that went to court after the election, but just a few, just 11 saw the light of the day. So what does it tell you? That as IEBC, we do our job carefully and very well. That even when you go to court, very few will get a positive ruling, yes, as opposed to what people think. So with that post-election evaluation, we have now the confidence that our procedures and our processes are in accordance to the law. And even if you go to the High Court, there is just a slim percentage that our ruling is going to be averted. And what we are doing about it, because currently what we are facing is the late determination of those cases, which have an impact on our timelines. For example, now we want to really proceed 100% and print the ballot papers, but we are not able to. So that's why previously I said I will just urge the judiciary to expedite on the determination of those cases, because this country, we want to move forward. We want to have our election on the 9th of August. Every part of this country, we want to be prepared.
All right. So you talked earlier about stakeholder engagement as part of the activities that as a commission you have embarked on as you prepare for this election. What are the priority areas that you have been focusing on in these stakeholder engagements? Because just as late as a few days ago, some political players have been complaining about the procurement processes by the commission. Others have threatened to boycott the election if perhaps the commission does not have a backup of a manual register. We've had also allegations of, just sort of queries on what the commission has done to ensure transparency of this particular election. What is it that you are really focusing on in the stakeholder engagements, and why are we suddenly hearing complaints at the very last minute towards the election?
Thank you. I think basically stakeholder engagement is to have a discussion, a roundtable discussion of it. As the commission, we've been doing that. We've been having press briefings once in a week, but now henceforth we are increasing it to 2 times and even daily. Yes, and in those engagements, as you have seen, there was that meeting last week on Wednesday. We had the presidential candidates that we met, and we had dialogue, and some issues came up. We invited them to go to the warehouse to see the production of the KIMS kit. That happened yesterday. They got the opportunity to be there and to be taken around and to ask every question that they wanted to ask. We've also opened up the space to have them come into the office and have a one-on-one with us, because we believe that opening up the space to dialogue is the only way to go into a credible election that everyone has confidence in it.
So are they justified to raise these complaints now, the complaints that we hear at the campaign rallies, and are they addressing those complaints with you officially as a commission? Yes. Have they addressed those with you?
Yes, they are justified to raise any query, anything that they feel is bald, it's grey, they have the right to ask. And everyone has a right to ask for the sake of bringing clarity and for the sake of transparency. What they say in the political rally is not necessarily for us, because they are politicians and they have to do what they need to do. But for us, if they bring an official document and they say these are the questions we are asking, we ask for response, we do that. Or if they say, can we come to your offices? We have issues we need to discuss. We say, yes, come. And that is the way to go.
So have they filed a complaint, an official complaint concerning the choice of informed lycos and
many times
allegations of it being in close relations with a key politician in the country? Have you received that from? Have you? No. So it's just a campaign rally declaration.
Personally, I've just seen it in the papers, but if it was officially received, it will be responded to. Yeah, but we endeavor to engage even the more, because going forward, if everyone is on the same playing field, with the knowledge that we have, with the knowledge that they have, the clarity that they seek and they are given, we believe that this election is going to be credible. And the winner or the loser, they'll know that they have fairly lost or fairly won. Yeah.
Voter register vis-a-vis the manual voter register has been the elephant in the room. I believe even some of these complaints are based on that. An assurance from you, Vice Chair, on why the Commission has settled to prioritize the electronic voter register. It must have been informed by something.
Yeah. Everything that we do is informed by the law and the rulings that have been there. So 2017, it was ruled out that the primary source of the register should be the electronic one, which is already fitted in the KIMS kit. Then, if it fails, then we use the manual register. So on that basis, that is what we are using and that is what we are propagating. But this issue is in court. So let's leave it to the court to decide. But we are ready. When we met the presidential candidates on Wednesday last week, we agreed finally that we are going to print the manual register in anticipation with whatever ruling that the High Court will give. Yes.
All right.
So we are set.
All right. Yeah. On election day, what are some of the expectations? We want an assurance from your commission that things will run smoothly. You're addressing Kenyans right now. What are some of the expectations as somebody is coming to the polling station that would give them that assurance that you have done what it takes to ensure that this actually is a good experience for each and every one of them?
Thank you. At the polling station, we've made mechanism to ensure that there is transparency. When you come to the polling station, there are expectation you're asked of your ID, and someone checks the ID and your face and gives it to the first clerk, and the first clerk asks you to put your finger on the BVR kit. So that procedure, we have ensured that the voter education process is ongoing. It is ongoing in the grassroots, in our constituency level. Our returning officers are having stakeholders engagement, and they are training people on how to vote, the voting process, and the tallying and the result management. So with that voter education process, we assure that we're going to get a high level of preparedness from the people. Our people will know how to vote. We'll have less of the spoiled ballot papers, and the turnout, we expect the turnout to be high. Something else that we've done, we have partnered with security agency to ensure that we have security for our staff, security for the materials, security for the voters. And still the National Police is manning the whole country, and basically to ensure that we have a peaceful process. And you'll come to the polling station, you will vote, and you'll go back home. Another thing that we've ensured a good experience with our brothers and sisters who are living with disability, we've ensured that this time round, if they come to the polling station, they will be given priority. Just like the pregnant women will be given priority and the women with small babies. Something funny that happened in 2017, there is this scenario because people are given priority with babies and we have a baby exchange hands.
Yeah. So the same baby.
They are baby for hire.
7 mothers or 7.
Yes, to a point that baby had to be marked. Yes, so as we provide good experiences to people who deserve, Kenyans, let's just ensure that this is for the people that deserve this good experience. Yes.
There's a major event that the Commission is planning, that is the National Election Conference. Perhaps why is this important? What is the theme, and who is being targeted with this conference?
Yes, the National Election Conference is a big event that we invite our stakeholders, we invite Kenyans to come forth. We show the level of preparedness. We have invited regional election management bodies to come and to share their experiences so that in that sharing process we can learn and they can also learn from us. We have invited, most importantly, the presidential candidates, the 4 of them, so that they can come and pledge for peace in this process and this election, which that is very key in this conference, to show that they really mean it, that they'll ensure a peaceful process, and even after election, whatever the result will be, they will follow the channels and the judicial process that have been provided if you have issues with the elections. So basically, we just are looking forward to have a peaceful election, and that's the reason for the election conference, for Kenyans now to see how we have prepared. We'll be having tents outside, exhibitions, booths, whereby people can walk in and see how we are prepared, and our staff there will be able to ask questions. We have invited development partners also to put exhibitions booth. We have also invited our sister agencies, commissions, to also put their booths, because in one way or another, this election is not only for IEBC. We cannot do it alone. Every commission, every government agency, they have a part and a role that they play in this. So as much as we are independent, we know that every person has a part to play, and collectively we are going to ensure a peaceful process.
Are the dates and venue out yet?
Yes. We begin with the National Election Conference on Sunday, where we begin from 9 to 2 p.m. Then now the real conference begins on Monday. Is it 11th or 12th Monday?
That's 11th.
Yeah, I've seen it's a public holiday, but yes, as IEBC, we are on because we don't have the time. We don't have weekends, we don't have public holidays, unfortunately. So, but we'll be on. So it will be on Monday and Tuesday at KICC.
You've talked about very strict timelines you're working on as IEBC. In the next days, it's about just 31 days to the next general election. What are you going to be prioritizing? What key activities are you going to maximize your time on?
Everything has been planned. Everything we have their flow chart about it. So as I said, we've done recruitment. So training is going on for the staff that have been recruited. We have voter education taking center stage. At this time, you'll be seeing more of us at the studios. You'll see more of our advertisements. Our advertisement range from voter education. It ranges to peaceful messages. It goes to the result path. It goes to determining misinformation and disinformation, because we've realized that many people want to speak for us. And as IEBC, we say Kenyans, the truthful information, the factual information comes from IEBC. So if it is not from us, it is not us. So check the source of your information. So those are the things that we are going to prioritize, we are going to look into. There's a lot of smearing campaign, and we'll ensure that as much as we are in this environment, we will endeavor to tell the truth, the factual truth, to be credible to the people. And we are saying as IEBC, really we don't have anything to hide, because if we hide something, this process is going to be flawed. And that is the last thing that we want. We are Kenyans and we belong to this country, so we'll do our best.
All right. Oh, so we've come to the end of this conversation, but just before we close it up, in this country we are coming from a history of disputed elections that has taught us that never again do we want to ever end up in that space. We lose so much time, so much money, even lives sometimes when we have those disputed elections. What is your commitment as IEBC to ensure that we do not have a repeat of this? Who do you think should do what, so that we vote on the 9th of August, then lives moves on, and also your message of peace as we bring this to a close?
Very important. As I said previously, election is a process, and throughout the process, we've ensured that we follow the legal provisions. We've ensured that we follow the statutory timelines. We've ensured that we have done everything that we're supposed to do. Why? We don't want the election to be nullified because of the process. So come the final end, the same commitment we've been having, it is the same commitment we are taking it through to the end of this process. And what we'll tell Kenyans is that we want a smooth process. The day, was it yesterday, we were having a meeting with KBC, Private Sector Alliance, and it was clear with them that as business people, they're looking forward to a smooth transition. We want to vote, and the next day, the Mama Mboga can put out their groceries. We are looking forward to the ones selling fish can put out their karai and continue with their businesses. And election does not mean the end of our lives. We'll choose leaders, and after 5 years, we'll choose them again. So my message to Kenyans is that let's have a peaceful election. Be responsible for your peace, and be a peacemaker, and ensure that you are at peace with your neighbor. Differences with our political affiliations and the candidates we love does not mean that we are going to be enemies. You've been my neighbor, and we'll not stop being neighbors after election. Yeah, you are my workmate, and we'll not stop being workmates. And anyway, after elections, our salaries will not change anyway. So let's take care of ourselves, and the future will be good. Thank you.
That salary part, though, that's a matter of wait and see. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for creating time for us. Juliana Cherera, the Vice Chairperson of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. I believe we are going to be having more engagements on this even as we get closer to the August polls. Thank you for watching. My name is Safin Achieng Oma. God bless.